How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and welcome back to my Ultimate Beginner's Guide leveling series for a season start in Diablo 3. This is going to be the second part to a two-part series. Take a look at the first part if you want to see the early levels and all of those sorts of tips and tricks for just starting and immediately getting into a season to give you a better start than most people. That link should be on screen via a card or in the description somewhere around there. If you are watching this live, I am more than likely streaming the league start, or not league start, season start, too much Path of Exile, on twitch.tv/Wolfian1. I stream pretty much every single Diablo 3 season release, and I play in duo, so it's not really exactly optimal. Sometimes I play in fours, but you can catch me streaming the season start over there if you want to come and hang out. But otherwise, let's get into this, shall we? So I talked about a lot of the early sorts of excess stuff that you can do. I'm going to reiterate a little bit on some of the things that I talked about in case this is the first video that you're picking up. Essentially, I talked about rift snapshotting, which is that when you go into a rift, it will snapshot to whatever level you are at, and you will still get the same amount of XP even if you level up. Now, this is very important during multiple stages of the game. Essentially, where it's most important is like 1 to 10, and then 60 to 70. Reasons being is 1 to 10 is pretty difficult and pretty slow because you have no abilities, so you're doing things as slow as possible. And if you're playing in hardcore, 1 to 10 is a very difficult point because you can get clapped a lot. And then 60 to 70, the scaling is extremely out of whack. So you are going to get absolutely ass blasted very, very easily from those levels. Now, what is rift snapshotting? Essentially, when you open a rift, it will scale to whatever level you open it at. So this rift is scaled to level 1, so all of the enemies in it will be extremely easy to kill. So I go in, I kill everything, I hit like level 5 or level 6, I haven't crafted any gear or anything. I open the second floor of the rift, and all of a sudden everything is extremely hard, and it takes forever to kill. That's because the second floor of the rift has snapshotted to level 5. I still have gear for level 1. Now, what this means is, what you could do is you can come back to town, you can craft better gear, what have you, or you can have someone run to the end of the floor, open up the next floor, and then teleport back to you through like right-click teleport to player, and that will snapshot the second floor at whatever level they entered it at. And then you get there, you clear that, and you're not doing an extremely over-leveled area with extremely under-geared characters. So that makes your life a little bit easier. Generally, if you have like a demon hunter or a wizard who can do double teleports, that would be the class I would recommend doing that for. The other thing I talked about was getting a Leoric's crown. Generally, you want to play in a 4-player team. If you're playing in a coordinated one, you can send your demon hunter to go and finish the main campaign. If you kill Leoric, you get a guaranteed Leoric's crown, which allows you to get a helmet that has a slot in the helmet for gems, and you can put in a red gem that gives you experience. This will also go throughout your team. If you're playing in a team, you get bonus experience, up to 4 players, and this is going to work across the map. So long as you guys are in the rift, you still get experience if they're killing something that you can't even see, and it's like 100 miles away from you. So those are the basic tips. So let's get into some of the more niche stuff that I didn't talk about. So let me swap characters very quickly to a higher level character. But essentially, the first thing I want to talk about is the Keynes Set. This is something that your whole team is going to wind up wearing if you get the opportunity to, because it is a set of armor that gives you an experience bonus if you're wearing the full thing, or at least 3 pieces of it. Generally, what you want to do with a Keynes set, let me get over here, is you want to wear a Leoric's crown and then 3 pieces of Keynes. Let me try and find this thing. It's not a belt. What's it under? Where are you, Keynes set? I believe it's pants. Yeah, Keynes. 50% bonus experience, 5% at level 70. Now you can wear this at level 23. If you get a goblin floor, kill pretty much everything you can, kill all of the the plan goblins, and there's a good chance you'll get one of these. Now, you kind of don't want to be the guy to get one of these because you'll have to wear it until level 70, but the most optimal way to do things is to have your entire team wearing a Keynes Set, Keynes Set 3-piece, and then a Leoric's crown. So you don't want to wear the Keynes head, you want to wear the legs, hands, and feet, and then a Leoric's crown with a red gem in it. That'll give you 50% off of this, up to 30% off of the helmet, doubled because of the helmet to 60%, provided you're making gems as you level up, plus the team experience bonus, and all of that shares to the team, which means you level exceptionally quickly. You can share that 4 times over, right? You see how it starts to get a little bit stupid. So yeah, try and get a Keynes Set if possible. You could have someone running bounties if you wanted to, and then have the whole team tag in at like the end of the bounty to try and get a Keynes Set drop off of something. You could do that. I don't think that's really optimal, but I guess you could if you wanted to. That's like the main sort of gear crafting tip I've got for you, but there is one more tip that's going to actually break your brain, and not a lot of people actually know about this. This is how to essentially cheat. Now, this is extremely fucking stupid, and you're gonna realize this and go, why have I never thought of this? This is my game-breaking tip that I want you to like the video for telling you, alright? So we're playing Barbarian on this character, right? So let's say I was leveling. I was level 58 or 62 or something like that, right? And I've leveled my blacksmith all the way up to level 70. Now you'll see this level 70 weapon does a shit ton of damage for level 62 or level 58. And I can't use it, right? Level 70. Well, there's no way I can equip that. But what if I told you you were wrong? What if I told you you can equip items up to 10 to 12 levels higher than you just by using the Mystic? So, this fella, if we throw it into the crafter, has a secondary thing, level requirement reduced by 2 to 30. And that's a secondary stat. So all we do is we reroll it until we get level requirement reduction. And we just keep re-rolling. You can keep crafting new ones as well if you want, if you don't have re-rolls. So minus 23 levels, and you can now equip the level 70 weapon that does 3,000 damage at level 47. So if you do that, you will just shit-mince the entire game. If you have a 4-man crew doing this, you can play on Master difficulty, you can play on Torment 1, you can play on Torment 2 while leveling, and you can roll the whole fucking game. This is exceptionally easy with two-handers, because all you have to do is just level your blacksmith up as high as possible. You're not going to have death breaths, so you can't get a level 70 weapon. But if you have enough gold and crafting mats, you can make a level 60 weapon by like level 30, level 35-ish, if you just tunnel and focus on that. So, as a result, you can just cleave through the entire game and speed to level 70, destroying everything with a 3,000 damage weapon. So yeah, I hope you use that tip in your gameplay, and I hope it speeds your leveling up just a little bit. If you didn't know that, please like the video, I would appreciate it. But yeah, that is my big major tip. Otherwise, I talked about Keynes, I talked about Leoric's. I believe there's a couple other things, I'm just trying to remember them. I talked about using Kadala and getting your like rings and amulets early on in the previous episode. So you want to make sure you keep up with jewelry. Flat damage is generally the best way to go when you get weapons that have a socket in it. If you can roll this with a socket, actually that's another thing to talk about. You can roll this with a socket. When you're leveling, the best thing to put in it is a red gem for damage, because you don't have much crit chance for it to really matter. So you just want as much flat damage as possible in this case. Alternatively, when you get to a higher level, 60, 61, you start to get a build together, then you want to use a green gem at higher levels, because that gives you crit hit damage, and it can give you a lot of crit hit damage, like up to 200%. So that's what you want to do at a higher level, but while leveling, a red gem in your weapon is the best option. But the red gem in the level 70 weapon, and well, you know, fucking everything dies. Simple enough, right? I had something else that I was gonna say, and then I just lost it. Oh, what was it? God, what was it? Oh, this hurts me physically. It was so good, and then I fucking lost it. Oh well, whatever. Things happen, I suppose. But yeah, I think that's pretty much just about all I got. There's probably a couple other things that I didn't write anything down, so I'm just kind of like winging it. To be honest with you, but yeah, I mean, otherwise you want to get flat damage pretty much everywhere you can. Attack speed on as much of your gear as possible. Now, the reason I showed you this is because keep in mind you're going to be using a Keynes Set and a Leoric's crown, so your damage from your gear is going to be exceptionally low. Right, I remember what I was going to say. Your damage from your gear is going to be exceptionally low. Well, you have to make up for that by having a boosted ass weapon. Now, as a result, you can still kill everything while getting all your experience bonuses. Now, what I was going to say is to be very careful during levels 60 to 70. That's what I was going to say. Because the level scaling during that time is extremely out of whack. For some reason, I don't know why, everything is just extremely weird. So, from level, like, they kind of bunch it up into brackets of, like, 61 to 64, 65 to, like, 68, and then 68 to 70. And once you hit these cutoff points, everything gets exceptionally harder, provided you haven't used a level 70 weapon the whole time. In that case, you're still going to one-shot everything, more than likely. But during those cases and scenarios, when I'm playing hardcore, I actually take my Keynes Set off most times and put on actual gear, because I don't want to lose my character, obviously, that I've worked hard for during that time. So once you hit the level 61, the entire game gets more difficult. So when you hit level 60, I would recommend crafting a bunch of like level 61 gear with your death breath and all that sort of stuff. Craft 61 gear right here, because things are gonna get real hard real fast. At 60, I would snapshot the next floor of the rift as well, because once you hit 61, the next floor gets stupid hard. So use a snapshotting technique that I taught you about. Go and snapshot the next floor, go through that, and you'll come out probably 61, 62, craft a whole new set of gear, put all of it on, level 70 weapon, obviously, if you can, and then roll through there. You should be good till about 63, 64. Once that comes around, check the gear you've got off the ground, because you can't craft, like, 64 or anything like that. So maybe you can, like, craft better 61 gear, what have you. Or you can even craft 70 gear with level reduction, I think. I don't know if you can actually get that on armor. Let's find out. Let's find out. But otherwise, I would pick stuff up, or pick yellows up off the floor, and I would actually, like, equip them, rather than, like, just binning them or crafting them. Oh, you can, actually. Well, there you go. You get, you can craft level 70 gear, and level reduction requirement. Hey, I just learned something myself. Cool. This can be really useful for my hardcore character, actually. So, yeah. 64-ish, pick stuff up off the floor, equip it, then you should be good till about 68. 68, do the same thing, and then 70, you can craft pretty much a whole new set of gear, or use all of your blood shards. I would save all of your shards from 60 to 70, then when you get to 70, spend it all on Kadala, and use that to fill out every single piece of your gear, because the gear you've got is going to suck. So my recommendation is to recraft a whole set of 70 gear. That's generally going to be the best bet you've got, provided you're keeping up on crafting mats, or Kadala a whole set of gear as well. And then from there, you're going to want to put on whatever your best, like, early 70, fresh 70 build is. I'm going to be making one for Demon Hunter, and I will share it with you once I get there during the season. I will upload that video for you. For most classes, Barbarian, I generally play either Hammer of the Ancients, Seismic Slam, or Whirlwind, depending on what legendaries I've gotten. You can get the Seismic Slam bracers very easily, generally, while leveling. Certain legendaries you also want to keep on during, like, your entire playthrough. I've used level 13 Seismic Slam bracers to GR 75 before, because I just couldn't get another pair to drop. So in that sort of case, that is okay, right? Not entirely optimal, obviously, because you lose out on armor and stats and what have you. But the damage bonus you get from certain legendaries means you're going to want to keep level 13 ones on for that long. Otherwise, Witch Doctor, you play Reign of Toads. There's a whole joke about me having to play Reign of Toads Witch Doctor for 70 hours because I could never get my gear set to drop. That was torture. Demon Hunter, I'm going to probably play Multi-Shot. Wizard, I play some form of Disintegrate with Black Hole to group everything. Monk, I don't play. And Crusader, I also don't play. And then Necro, I don't even own. So for those, I would recommend looking up the best build for level 70 fresh grinding in that sort of scenario. One more thing before I leave this off, I should have probably said this earlier on, is don't do your challenge rift before the start of the season, because what you can do is right now you can leave game, go out, and what is it? You can go game settings, challenge rift, and you can do the challenge rift. Now, the reason you do this is you can actually take the rewards into the season, provided you don't claim them, right? So finish this, you get a little pop-up in the corner when you load in that says, claim your rewards here, claim your rewards, please click me, God, click me. Yeah, don't click it. Not until you're in the season on your season character, level 1, level 70, doesn't matter. You can click it, and then it'll give you 25 of your crafting material on that character. So that is going to make life so much easier, because that gives you 25 of the materials to Keynes Cube. That means you don't have to do bounties if you're not working for any of the bounty like gear. You're not going for a Ring of Royal Grandeur or any of that sort of stuff. You don't have to do any bounty farming at all. You get all the materials you need to Keynes Cube, pretty much everything, and you are good to go. It also gives you a bunch of Death's Breaths, Forgotten Souls, and some other crafting mats as well. So, yeah, do your challenge rift, and then don't claim it, and then once you get into the season, claim it there. Alright, that is pretty much everything I've got for leveling. If there's anything else, I will probably add it in another video, or do another video on the next start, or what have you. If you guys have any tips that I missed, or anything like that, do let me know in the comments down below. If it's good enough, I will paint it so everyone can see it. And if I mean, we're all here to learn, right? Even I'm here to learn. So if there's anything that I don't know, by all means, tell me. Make my game that little bit easier. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. As always, take care, gentlemen. I shall see you in the next one. Check out the stream if you wouldn't mind, please. Alright, take care, fellas.